Welcome to the Deep Dive, your shortcut to being well informed. Today, we are getting into the Samsung Galaxy A36 5G. Now, this is a mid-range phone, but it's making a really premium promise.
A huge promise.
A full 6 years of guaranteed Android and security updates. For a phone that's not supposed to break the bank, that's a massive claim.
And that's the core of it, right? That's the tension. Samsung wants you to bet on its future, on that software stability.
Right.
So if the hardware can actually last that long, this phone is, an incredible value.
Yeah.
But we have to look at the sources and see if this is marketing genius or just cleverly hiding the limitations.
Okay, so let's start with the good stuff, the case for it being future-proof. The foundation seems really strong here.
It does.
You're getting a gorgeous 6.7-inch Super AMOLED screen and a 120 Hz refresh rate, which feels super smooth.
And crucially, it's protected by Gorilla Glass Victus Plus.
Which is that top-tier protection.
Exactly. That's stuff you normally find on flagships that cost, twice as much. They clearly built this thing with durability in mind.
And that extends to the build too, right?
Yeah.
It has an IP67 rating.
Yeah, for dust and water resistance. So it can handle being submerged for a bit. It all points towards that long-term value they're pushing.
Okay, and under the hood?
We're looking at a Snapdragon 6 Gen 3 chip and an Adreno 710 GPU. So on paper, that should be more than enough for smooth performance for years.
And the camera setup seems pretty solid too. It's got a 50-megapixel main lens with OIS.
Optical image stabilization.
Yeah, so that means much sharper photos, even if your hands are a little shaky. Plus, you get the usual ultra-wide and macro lenses.
So the physical foundation, the screen, the specs, it all seems designed to last those 6 years.
It sounds like a clear win, so what's the catch?
Well, here's where the sources immediately throw up a major red flag. Performance.
Oh.
User feedback is already saying this phone runs hot, like even with just normal everyday usage, and it lags a lot.
It lags right out of the box.
Right out of the box. And you have to ask yourself, if it's already struggling now, what's it going to feel like in year 4 or year 5?
It completely undermines this 6-year promise. And then there's the storage issue, which feels like another problem waiting to happen.
Right, no micro SD slot.
No expandable storage at all. You get 128 or 256 gigs internally, and that's it.
And if you're planning to keep a phone for like half a decade, you're going to fill that up. It feels less like a trade-off and more like forced obsolescence.
You'll just run out of room.
You will. And then we saw a few other little annoyances, like these accessory gaps.
The charger.
The charger. It has a big 5,000 milliamp battery and supports 45-watt fast charging, which is great.
Yeah.
But if you want those speeds, you have to go buy the 45-watt charging brick separately. It's a classic Samsung move, just tacking on an extra cost to get a feature they advertise.
We also saw complaints about an inconsistent fingerprint sensor and some claims that the camera processing is somehow worse than older models.
Yeah, a bit of a step back, maybe.
So, if we put all this together, who is this phone actually for?
Well, I think it's a really compelling choice for someone who puts security updates and software longevity above, well, everything else.
Right.
If you just want a phone that's guaranteed to be secure for 6 years and has decent specs without that flagship price, this is built for you.
But the big warning here is that you, the listener, you're being asked to make a bet. You're betting on those future updates while putting up with some very real, immediate problems.
Exactly. The heat, the lag.
It's definitely not for power users or anyone who stores a lot of photos and videos.
Which brings up a really important final question. Given all these performance quirks right now and the hidden costs like buying a charger, does a 6-year software commitment actually mean you're getting 6 years of a quality user experience?
That's a great point.
You really have to weigh that huge update promise against the day one reality of using the phone and decide for yourself if that trade-off is actually worth it.